Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, NOMY is Wahala Pro Max. See, I watched this girl the whole of yesterday, and the one thing that kept on ringing in my head was, how I wish this girl was in double Wahala season. It would have been bliss to see how she and Cece would share the madness in the house, because this girl, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I'm going to be frank about it, ladies and gentlemen. She's exhausting. She is draining. She's draining. NOMY is the sort of person, and I don't know this girl in real life. I'm just speaking based on what she portrays on the show, yeah? She's the sort of person who will be at fault, but still continue to drag an issue, playing the victim card, just to create the impression that she's being targeted, that she's being bullied, she's being isolated, whereas she is the perpetrator. She's the one at fault. Because, Lord have mercy, this girl, the whole of yesterday, she was in self-isolation. It wasn't imposed on her by anyone. Ladies and gentlemen, it was self-imposed. She decided by her own self to not talk to anyone until late at night. She probably realized that, okay, I have nobody on my side. And then she felt betrayed by TEMI. And then she felt like, oh my God, okay, I don't have anyone. In fact, she wasn't even speaking to Godessa. She wasn't even speaking to Cassie. These are people who gave her a listening ear. Some of them even defended her, knowing fully well that she was wrong, but they still defended her. But she literally ignored all of them yesterday. And then it was late at night. She now realized that, oh, okay, maybe I'm going to run mad in this house if I decide to toe this line of self-isolation. And then she started going on a media round about TEMI and the whole Ricky situation, still exaggerating the whole thing, still adding embellishments to the details of that situation, still holding on to her own notion that Ricky put his hand in her face. She feels betrayed by TEMI. Guys, it was a lot, because she was just going on and on and on. And then later on, she then admitted that, okay, maybe she was wrong for telling Ricky to get out. But then she added a clause to that admission. Hey, oh my days. Listen, we're going to get into the details of all of that conversation, coupled with one or two other conversations that happened last night. However, I need to say this, ladies and gentlemen. As a housemate, because these housemates, a lot of them, they get it wrong most of the time, yeah? But here's the thing. As a housemate, if you're going to play the game of victimhood, yeah, you're going to play that victim card as a strategy. If you're going to also play the game of isolation, oh my God, everybody hates me. Oh my God, I'm being targeted. Nobody likes me in this house. I'm being bullied. They're gossiping about me. If you're going to play that card, then you have to ensure that you are blameless. You have to ensure that you're not the bully. You have to ensure that you're not the fire starter. You're not the perpetrator. You have to ensure that the thing you are claiming that the rest of the house is doing to you is not what you started by yourself. It's not what you are even actively doing. Because even though we have some gullible viewers, it is not all viewers that are dumb. We actually see through the bullshit. I see through the bullshit. Yeah. So if you're going to play a character in Big Brother's house, ensure that you have rehearsed that character to perfection, so that you do not give us a half-baked performance, because it will show. You will crack. We will see it. And why am I saying all of this? Because of NOMY. I enjoyed the drama. As a matter of fact, I was even grateful to her for giving us some level of drainage with our conversations, because the house was kind of chilled. I'm trying not to use the word boring, but it was almost gearing towards boring, yeah. Until she started her madness, yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this video. I will give you the progression of conversations that she had with different people, our friends, yesterday evening. All right, give it the details and, of course, a very, very detailed analysis of it all. All right, and of course, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Ladies and gentlemen, please do not forget that today, 3 p.m. WAT, we're converging here for our YouTube live conversation. There's a lot to discuss, and so I look forward to seeing all of you. And you're all welcome in advance. And right now, you're especially welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Glory Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Glory Elijah, and I am the girl with the T. All of that said, let's quickly dive right into the details of this conversation. Before I forget, first off, massive congratulations to Chimsom Chuka, current head of house, yes, current winner as per the first team to win the first wager house presentation of the season, and also current first winner of the first arena games of the season. Massive congratulations to Chimsom. Chimsom might be overbearing sometimes, but we can't dispute the fact that this guy is highly competitive. This guy is heavy on the game. This guy is mightily focused on the reason he came to this house. This guy is focused on winning games and possibly the entire show. Yes, so he is really putting in the work, and we cannot take that away from him. He is that one housemate that the moment he gets into the arena, he's on beast mode. He wants to win by all means, and he does it. He does it really well. So a winning well-deserved for a very, very winning-minded individual. Massive congratulations to Chimsom. I'm super proud of him and happy for him as well. This week is obviously his week, and hey, I am not mad about it. I am just super excited for him. Now, quickly moving on. All of these conversations about NOMY and Ricky and whatever, it happened, a bit later after the housemates were done with the arena games. Now, something had been happening the entire day, which I already mentioned in my intro. NOMY had been self-isolating, completely detached herself from the entire house. When the housemates were having breakfast this morning, breakfast which some housemates took time to prepare for the whole house, she did not eat their food. She did not want to talk to anyone. She was just on her own. Rather than interact with her fellow housemates, rather than speak with a friend, Gadessa, or TEMI, or Cassie, or people. In fact, guys, if you think about it, NOMY actually has a lot of people that, talks to her in the house, that she talks back to in the house. But she decided to just stay on her own. So she was creating this image of, oh, the girl that everybody hates in the house. She's been saying it from day one, actually, and it's now feeling like it's an idea that she wants to engrave in the minds of the gullible viewers, so that will sort of be her storyline, that he's very blunt, she's very, very rude and disrespectful. And so for that reason, everybody in the house hates her. Yes. Now, when I say rude and disrespectful, she doesn't see it that way. She sees it as she's blunt and she has a mind of her own and she stands for her truth. But in the real sense, she's very rude. She's very blunt. Of course, has a mind of her own, but also quite disrespectful. Yeah. But anyways, as I was saying, she was keeping to herself the entire day. In the bedroom, she was working on one of the tasks that Big Brother had given to the housemates. I will explain before they present or after they present on one of my videos. And then Big Brother had instructed the housemates to go to the garden. When they were in the garden, she literally isolated herself again and stayed in one corner, which I thought was a very good tactic because, of course, the cameras cannot be on housemates who are, gathered together all the time. So she received a lot of screen time. One or two housemates went to talk to her and they went back into the house. She continued staying on her own. Now, whilst she was doing all of that, TEMI, on the other hand, was having the time of her life. She was vibing with people. Now, before TEMI was able to get into that zone, she had to clear her name first. Now, remember, yesterday, she had told people, anybody that cared to listen, that She wants to start afresh. She doesn't want her stay to be all about the Ricky and NOMY situation, because that was not what she came to the house to do. And so she doesn't want to be talking about it anymore. So she just wants to be free of that conversation because it is not her fight in the first place. And so yesterday morning, when the housemates returned from the arena after their workout session, some housemates wanted to really know what exactly happened, because a lot of them could not stop thinking about their welcome dinner. Yes, and some of the revelations that Neche and Ricky made during the question and answer game. So, okay, not really a question and answer game, guys, but apologies about that. So, Ricky had to explain himself. And that was exactly what he did. So whilst he was explaining himself, TEMI was there. She came to join the conversation. Now, Ricky tried as much as possible to give clarity, because for him, he was wondering, like, how did this whole thing escalate so fast? Because now everybody in the house is seeing me as the problem. So let me tell my own side of the story so that all of you will understand. So it wasn't like he gathered the whole house. It was just like a few of the housemates, about 6, 7 of them. They were in the lounge and he was explaining everything. So Tammy was there, and I think for the first time, she actually paid attention. She listened, and then she gained clarity of the situation. Also, let's not forget that when Tammy had a diary session, Biggie had asked her a question if he was also fair, because she was like, oh, it was disrespectful of, what's his name, Ricky, to put his hand in NOMY's face, using the same descriptions that NOMY used, which were quite exaggerated. And people had actually asked her, oh, it equals NOMY being disrespectful as well, you know, for telling Ricky to leave the bedroom, a fellow housemate to leave the bedroom. So she had digressed at that point in time, acting like she didn't really understand the question, but it's actually sunk into her mind that, okay, she had overreacted as well. So she had gained clarity whilst Ricky was explaining, right? But at the same time, you know, not to make it look like she was not standing up for her friend, she was still trying to defend NOMY. And she was still insisting that, oh, but Ricky, you put your hand in her face. Why would you do that? Da, 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 da. And Ricky still went on to explain himself. Now, the camera wasn't on them all the time, but anybody that listened to that conversation would have seen that Temi had to clear her name. She also defended NOMY, right? And then everything was well and good, because afterwards, she became free as a bird, you know, mingling and intermingling and interacting with everybody in the house. And she had so much fun yesterday, guys. You could see it all over her. She had so much fun. You know, everybody was welcoming, and it was never a thing of everybody rejecting her or dismissing her because she's associated with NOMY. No, but she herself had successfully unburdened herself from the inherited beef that she got from NOMY about Ricky and Neche. So now she's free to start afresh. And a lot of the housemates whom she interacted with yesterday, they had a lot of nice things to say about her. And even the likes of Cam said that, oh my God, they're nice, they're sweet. Oh, they're this, they're that, they're cute. Meaning she had now been able to reintroduce herself to her fellow housemates and recreate a good impression, because she was at it till the early hours of this morning, playing with everybody, trying to show them that, hey, I'm not a snob, I'm not mean, I'm not rude, I'm not this, I'm not that. So she was really working hard at rebranding herself away from the toxic image she had already created that night. She was standing up for NOMY and also attacking Ricky the next morning. And it worked for her, ladies and gentlemen. Now, whilst all of this was going on, NOMY was in the bedroom. She was working on her task. She was sewing, and she was feeling betrayed. She was feeling bad. So later on, we saw that she and Temi, they were in the bedroom. They were having a conversation. In that conversation, she was upset with Temi. You know, she was accusing Temi of gathering with 10 housemates and gossiping about her. I remember I've said before that NOMY has a problem of delusion. She has a problem of over-exaggerating events and the details of events, and even going as far as embellishing wildly the details of events, she adds spices to things. Like what never happened, she would add it that it happened. Even try to make you believe that it happened. So that was exactly what she was doing to Temi as well. In fact, that was the beginning. Because she was accusing Temi of and Temi was trying to let her know that, no, I was defending you. I was listening to everything. It wasn't like we were gossiping about you. I had to listen to everything. But at the same time, I had to also tell them that, okay, we were being hypocritical. Because the same night you were telling Ricky to leave the room, we were also talking. Oh, you were talking to Cassie. I was there. We were also talking. So you telling Ricky to leave the room, I felt like it was quite hypocritical. I did not say it then, but I had to say it now. Because I'm tired of this whole situation. It has to die at some point. And NOMY was upset. Like she was feeling so betrayed, like Temi literally just backstabbed her. You know? So she was still convincing herself to believe that Temi did not defend that Temi was telling them that she was being hypocritical. So what she was expecting from Temi was full loyalty. Like, oh, you shouldn't have even said that we were being hypocritical, blah, blah, blah. Like, she was making so much demands and Temi was not backing down. So when she saw that Temi was not backing down, she realized she was defeated. She was so upset and then she was like, okay, fine. And then she left the room. Now, while she was leaving the room, she came across Godessa. No conversations were had. In fact, she had not spoken to Godessa the whole morning. You know, as I said, she was just ignoring and avoiding everybody. And Godessa too did not say hi to her. They just passed each other. And she was looking at Godessa as Godessa was walking away. So it felt like at that point in time, she realized that, hey, I just possibly lost the only loyal friend I have in this house. And now I probably must have lost Godessa as well. So she immediately came up with a plan to have a conversation with Godessa. Because later on, when the camera went back to her, she was having a conversation about Temi with Godessa. And ladies and gentlemen, the exact same way that she had exaggerated the details of that situation with Ricky, where she was claiming that Ricky put his hand on her face, that Ricky threatened her, she was now doing the same thing to Temi. Because the way Temi had responded to her in the conversation that they had just had, she was now overblowing it to Godessa. That, oh, I asked her why did she say this? And then she was like, oh, am I your mother? Hey, did I come to this house to take care of you? She was adding embellishments. She was saying so much. And Godessa too was reacting to the things that she was saying because Godessa was not there when they had that conversation. So she was going on and on and on. Oh my God. She was saying that, hey, if I ask her a question, you know, the way NOMY speaks, she'll be like, if I ask her a question, she'll be like, hey, Ladies and gentlemen, see, I'm not going to lie. I was laughing. I was laughing so much because I'm like, girl, it's either of these two things. It's either NOMY is blindly delusional, guys. Like, it's either this girl is just naturally delusional, like someone that cannot see any wrong in anything she does, or she's actually playing a really good game of someone who just wants to antagonize everybody and everything. Because whichever one she's playing, she's that good. As in, guys, she's really good at it, I must admit. And she kept on portraying Temi as a betrayer, a friend that had just backstabbed her. She was telling Godessa that, oh, what she was expecting Temi to do when Temi was in the midst of 10 people talking about her, because she overheard them when they were talking. She was coming down the stairs and she overheard them. She was just hearing NOMY, NOMY, NOMY. That was what she was hearing. NOMY, NOMY, NOMY. She didn't even know what they were talking about. So she was saying that what she expected Temi to have done was that Temi should have come and call her and say, babes, come and defend yourself. You know, Temi should not have even been in their midst. That why would Temi be in the midst of people that don't like her, people that hate her, people that are talking about her? She was just going on and on and on. And then she was like, that she was so upset, but she decided to let it go because, Temi is a friend. She genuinely likes the girl, oh. But this is somebody that defended her in public, and so she wouldn't want to pay her back in the same manner, at least not yet. That was what she said, at least not yet. But you know what? She still likes the girl. She decided to just let it go. Da 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 da. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm like, this girl, you want 100% loyalty. That is wild. For someone you just met 3 nights ago in the house, you want this person to come and, like, is she a child? Temi was actually defending you, but also trying to clear her name. But you don't want her to say anything. She just come and call you. So when she comes to call you now, there will not be another fight. So you want somebody that will not stand behind you and be joining you in the fight and be fighting the whole house in the first few days of this season. It's not even up to 1 week yet. Ladies and gentlemen, wild, really wild. But also in that conversation with Godessa, she then admitted at some point, in fact, before she left the room, that, but I now see it, Sha. I now see that I shouldn't have told Ricky to leave the room, because we are 24 in this house and there's only 22 beds in this house. So I should have just considered that. But he should have said, when I was telling him to leave, he should have said, okay. Sorry, I won't talk anymore, and then there wouldn't have been a problem. But he said, oh yeah, come and drag me now. So me too, I decided to drag him now. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, are you sure that this season we're not going to have a crazy person in the house? Or because, oh God, NOMY is insane. Insane. But as I said before, I loved the fact that this conversation was happening, because the house was kind of, boring a bit yesterday. So yeah, all of these wild conversations yesterday, it was okay. Like, you made up for it. Now, after having that conversation with Godessa, she had gone ahead to have a conversation with Cassie in the kitchen. She was once again trying to create the image that the whole house hates her. And Cassie immediately countered her. So she was still going off about the whole, and Ricky did this, Ricky did that. Oh, the housemate did this, the housemate did that. I don't have any issue with anybody. Oh, if there's anything, if anybody has a problem with me, they should come and talk to me. And guys, oh my God, Cassie made me so happy. Because the guy says it the way it is. Cassie was like, but nobody has a problem with you. You are the one that decided to isolate yourself. You're the one that decided not to talk to anybody. And she was like, well, when Ricky was talking to everybody, Temi was in their middle, over 10 people, and Cassie was there. Oh. So Cassie was like, 10 people. She was like, maybe 7, 8 people. And Cassie was like, that much? I was there. So the more she was lying, the more Cassie was, setting her straight. And then she was realizing that, okay, this guy's not somebody you can fool. So she was trying to, like, get him on her side. But the guy was literally setting her straight, Then she then admitted that, that even that morning before that conversation happened, right after they were leaving the gym, that's the arena, that Ricky had approached her to have a conversation, that she refused because she's like, I don't want to have any talks with him. I don't want to have anything to do with him. Like I said before, that he's cancelled. He's done. Like, I'm done with him. I don't want to have any conversation with him. So, ladies and gentlemen, when she said that, I was looking at this girl and I was asking myself, so why are you now complaining? Like, this is the second time Ricky has approached you for a reconciliation conversation. You have rejected it. You have refused it. You don't want to talk. But now, anybody in the house at all that associates with Ricky, that is on good terms with Ricky, you don't like them. You disassociate yourself from them. And now you are spreading this narrative that the whole house hates you. But you see, ladies and gentlemen, I enjoyed that conversation she had with Cassie because Cassie was setting her straight and letting her know that no, nobody hates you. You are the one that is isolating yourself. And the fact that I am friends with you and I'm also friends with Ricky does not mean that I hate you. It does not mean that I should now disassociate myself from Ricky just because I want to prove that I'm loyal to you. The guy set her straight properly. And then there was also another very, very wildly hilarious thing that happened. And so while all these conversations were happening, when she realized that she was fully alone by herself, nobody in her corner, this was after she had a conversation with TEMI and before she had a conversation with Godessa, and she realized that, oh, I don't have anybody in my corner anymore at this point. She went outside and she tried to speak to Yusuf. She was asking, say, oh, Yusuf, is it there? Is this person there? Yusuf did not answer. Sultex did not answer. Nobody answered her. And then she went into the house and she eased and, and then she was upset. And then she went up. I said, Madam Pepper Body. She was upset that nobody responded to her. Immediately she went inside. Yusuf just said, well, it's good that you went back into the house like that. It's good that you went back the same way you came. So he was then explaining to Bells and Sultex that he was also trying to talk to her in the morning that same day. But she completely ignored him. He greeted her. She didn't respond. He even went ahead to even touch her like, is this not the person I'm talking to? And she ignored him. So he's like, okay, fine. Since you don't want to talk to me, oh, well and good. So now she's coming to come and ask him questions like she did not snub him earlier in the day. So for him, he's like, no, this girl, it seems like she has a mental issue that he's not going to respond to her. You can't do something to me and expect that she just forget that you did something to me. And you see, ladies and gentlemen, I totally agreed with Yusuf because you see, this was the same thing that NOMY did to Ricky, which when Ricky retaliated, knowingly or unknowingly, she became upset about. And according to what she said to most of the girls, she automatically cancelled him because he's not a good person. Remember that whole situation of when both of them came into the house together? They were walking through the tunnel to enter the mansion on the day of the luncheon on Sunday. And Ricky was saying hi to her, introducing himself, trying to get to know her name. And she just completely snubbed him. And then when they entered the house, she was now asking him to come and carry her box. And the guy looked at her and said, okay, let me attend to my boxes first. Everybody came into the house with boxes. Somebody that you did not, in fact, you were not polite to or courteous to. You snubbed before the show even started. You're not calling him to come and carry your box. There must be something... There must be something wrong with your brains. Nah, this girl. Anyways, it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. This video has become too lengthy. So maybe on another video or during the live stream, I'll just, chip in one or two things about what other conversations were had. But in the meantime, go ahead, share your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll see you guys on another video soon. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye.